What are we expecting from the second generation Dreame D9 Max Gen 2 robot vacuum? A rubber roller for easier maintenance, enhanced app features like hidden room detection and laminate joint cleaning, and increased suction power, advertised at 6,000 pascals for improved dry cleaning performance. There's a new water tank placement and better mop-to-floor pressure. Will our expectations be met? Has Gen 2 truly improved that much? Let's find out in this official Best Robot review. First, the unboxing. The vacuum looks sleek and serious, featuring a black lighter module. The dock is a classic L shape. It comes with power cord, a mop with an attached pad, and a side brush that needs to be clipped underneath the vacuum. Paperwork includes a detailed product guide, a quick start manual, and a seller-backed warranty. Nothing surprising in the box, just the essentials to get started. The standout spec: its suction power about 50% stronger than the previous model. Design-wise, not much has changed. It still sports a round body with a command tower LiDAR near the bumper. The lid has that same jagged edge with two buttons, one for cleaning, one for sending it home. The LiDAR now has a pressure sensor to avoid getting stuck under furniture. Under the hood, you'll find the cleaning tool and a 19.3-ounce dustbin. The front wall flips down for hands-free emptying, complete with a protective flap. Nothing will spill from the exhaust duct. Around back, there's a HEPA filter, washable under running water, and a nylon mesh. The bumper is spring-loaded with a single infrared sensor window, no side sensor. In the rear, there's an air outlet. Flip it over and it's all familiar. Drive wheels, swivel caster, charging contacts, and 4 cliff sensors. The standard tri-blade side brush snaps into place easily. The brush assembly floats to adapt to floor contours. The roller guard features flaps, a scraper, and soft pads. The big change? A rubber roller replaces the bristle brush. It scrapes off stuck-on dirt from laminate and avoids hair tangles. The end caps come off for easy maintenance. It doesn't grab carpet hair quite as well as a bristle brush, but for hard floors, it's perfect. The mop has an integrated water tank. It's the same design as before, but for some reason, the capacity dropped to 8 fluid ounces, down from 9.1. The pad is just as thin as other Dreame vacuums. It slides into a groove and sticks on with Velcro. Design-wise, no complaints. It's solid mid-range stuff, simple and reliable. To get started, open the Dreame Home app. Scan the QR code under the lid, connect to a 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network, press both buttons, tap Next, and wait for the pairing to complete. In under 90 seconds, everything was up and running. Once the map is built, all features unlock, and I'll list them on screen. Since this is a second-gen model, I was hoping to see advanced features like high threshold zones, laminate alignment, or hidden room settings, like what we saw on the Dreame L10S Plus. But none of that is here. The app is pretty standard. You get room editing, different zone types, and per-room settings like number of cleaning passes. The only standout is the deep mop mode, where the robot moves in tight zigzags. Let's test the navigation. Right after launch, the vacuum hugs the perimeter, carefully maneuvers around curtains, and accurately measures distance to baseboards, even without a side sensor. Then, it fills the area with zigzag passes, but it refused to drive onto a dark rug. Its sensors read it as a drop-off, so no improvement there. Also, it slammed into the drying rack at full speed. Still, it easily climbed over the rack's tubular base. In the end, the rack stayed in place and the vacuum precisely marked its legs on the map. It also bumped into chair legs, a sign that the front-facing sensor's field of view may be too narrow. But to its credit, it circled each leg without missing a spot. Navigation overall is solid. It handles thresholds well, crossing 0.6 inches with no issue and 0.8 inches with a slight pause. In the apartment, the D9 Max Gen 2 performed flawlessly. It moved from room to room in the set sequence with no unnecessary movements or missed spots. Energy efficiency is about 30% higher than the previous model. It ran for 1 hour and 47 minutes on max settings. If you have a large estate with a helipad, consider splitting the cleaning into 2 sessions with a recharge in between. Before launching the Dreame D9 Max Gen 2, I had tested upright vacuums for several days and thought the house was clean. But the robot ventured into every nook and cranny and still brought back a clump of pet hair and some grains. Well done, Gen 2. The roller is completely clean, with only a couple of hairs near the ends. You can check the working unit once a week, no more often. Noise levels vary between 57 and 70 decibels depending on the selected mode. In quiet mode, the D9 Max operated slightly quieter, possibly due to the soft turbo brush. According to the manufacturer, the second-generation robot's suction power has increased to 6,000 pascals, and the crevice test confirms this. The D9 Max Gen 2 cleaned 0.08 in grooves and stripes, almost completely passed 0.16 in, reached 0.24 in spots, and cleaned several more grooves at depths of 0.31 and 0.39 inches. For a budget vacuum, this is an impressive result. So far, this is the most powerful Dreame vacuum we've tested. For example, the old D9 Max's limit was around 0.24 inches. In zonal cleaning mode, the vacuum makes one pass along the walls, then cuts the stand with cross zigzags. It doesn't make a second pass along the perimeter, and this point should be considered when evaluating cleaning quality. The side brush has a moderate rotation speed. It sweeps debris well along the walls while almost not throwing it into blind spots. The vacuum picked up all possible debris. The center of the stand is absolutely clean, but the periphery lacked a second pass. Regarding corner cleaning, the performance is below average. Debris remained in a 1.2-inch zone, while most competitors average under 1 inch. I don't think this is a critical difference, especially since in the sand test, the uncleaned zone corresponds to the standard. The absence of a bristle brush in the D9 Max Gen 2 is compensated by high power. The vacuum collected 95% of the sand in one pass, even without cross zigzags. This is a very impressive result. On carpet, the picture is the same as on laminate. The center of the stand was thoroughly cleaned, but the periphery had plenty of debris that the vacuum should have collected during an additional pass along the walls. Even with a shaggy carpet, the test subject coped at a top level. It collected most of the debris from the surface and even extracted something from the depth. Ideally, for such a task, a pair of rollers is needed. As a result, considering the shortened work algorithm, the D9 Max Gen 2 handled cleaning much better than its predecessor. All types of debris, including grains, filler, and hair, end up in the container. At the same time, the roller's surface looks brand new. Hair wound only at the ends from where it can be removed in about 3 seconds. In addition to dry cleaning, the vacuum's capabilities include wet cleaning, which I tested in a thorough mode with tight zigzags. For the coffee test, Gen 2 started with a dry pad. It barely moistened it after about 2 minutes and began smearing the stains. To thoroughly clean the center of the stand, it took 6 passes. Along the walls and especially in corners, it cleans worse than analogs because the mop's side zones don't adhere well to the floor. Before the next test, I rinsed the pad in the sink, which theoretically should have improved cleaning efficiency, but in practice it was the same. The thin pad poorly contacts the surface, only the edging works. Additionally, I conducted a dirt test, but the vacuum didn't cope. It managed to collect dirt with the roller and the pad's edges. Note the uneven adherence. Then, after intermediate rinsing, it tried to clean the streaks, but unsuccessfully. Wet cleaning in this model is only an additional option. To remove dust from the floor, freshen the air in the house, that's its purpose. Let's summarize. The Dreame D9 Max Gen 2 really did improve, even if it didn't meet every single expectation. The rubber roller is easy to maintain, and when paired with the boosted suction power, it performs on par with a turbo brush. And that suction really has increased. This is one of Dreame's most powerful robots to date. The cleaning quality is excellent, even with the slightly shortened algorithm. Its energy efficiency has also stepped up. Gen 2 can handle up to 1,300 square feet on turbo mode, but the vacuum's exterior hasn't changed, the surface sensor issue remains unsolved, and the mop pad is still thin and not very effective. Still, in its price range, this is the best robot vacuum out there right now. Thanks for sticking with us to the end and hitting that like button. That's all for today. Take care, and see you in the next review.